Hello and welcome to this lesson on solving reverse percentage. By the time you finish this video, you will be able to identify the correct multiplier for a given percentage change. You'll also understand why reverse percentages are solved by dividing by the multiplier, not by subtracting the percentage. Finally, you'll be able to solve reverse percentage problems confidently, including multi-step and real-world exam questions. Let's get started. Imagine you have a jar that's filled to 100% of its value. Now, if this jar gets a 20% increase, it becomes 120% of the original value. But how do we figure out the original value of the jar before the 20% increase? We start with the main formula for reverse percentage. We have before price is equal to after over multiplier. The after value is the new value after the percentage increase or decrease. And the multiplier is what we use to account for the percentage change. Now to solve for the multiplier p. We have the formula multiplier p equals 1 plus percentage increase or decrease, where 1 is a constant, representing the original value 100%. It stays the same because we're starting with the full value of the item. And the rate is the percentage change in decimal form. For example, a 20% increase. We convert it into 0.20 as decimal form. We need to convert the percentage into decimal form because it's easier to work with in mathematical calculations. Now, let's dive into some exam-style practice question. You can pause the video and try yourself. Let's go to example number 1. A pair of shoes costs $92 after a 15% increase. What was the original price? First, let's solve for its multiplier. We have the formula, p equals 1 plus the percentage increase. Since the problem says there is a 15% increase, p equals 1 plus 0.15, and that is equal to 1.15. Because our goal is to find the original price, we have before is equal to $92 divided by 1.15. Simplifying it, we have before is equal to $80. Therefore, the original price was $80. Let's go to the next example. John has worked at a company for 8 years. He receives a salary increase of 7%. His new annual salary is $42,800. Find his salary before the raise. In this case, we will use the formula. Before is equal to after divided by multiplier, because we have to find John's salary before the raise. But first, let's solve the multiplier. P is equal to 1 plus 0.07, since there is an increase of 7%. So we have P is equal to 1.07. Substitute the numbers. We have before is equal to $42,800 divided by 1.07, which is our multiplier. Before is equal to $40,000. Therefore, John's salary before the pay rise was $40,000 per year. Last problem, we have Sarah bought and sold a vintage clock, but lost 15% on the deal. Her actual loss was $30. How much did she pay for the clock? In this problem, Sarah lost 15% of the price she originally paid for the clock. The actual loss is given as $30. We are asked to find the amount Sarah paid for the clock, which is the before price. Now let's set up the equation. We have loss is equal to 15% times the before price. We know that Sarah lost $30, that's why we have loss is equal to $30. Now we have 30 is equal to 0.15 times the before price. Utilizing the before price formula, we have before is equal to 30 divided by 0.15. 30 divided by 0.15 is 200. So the before price is equal to $200. Therefore, Sarah paid $200 for the clock.